There we go. All right, we are recording.
So why don't you start, Heidi, and introduce yourself first.
See who's on. Let me make sure. We have a couple of people that looks like they're going to be jumping on. Oh,
Good.
well, for those of you who do not know me, my name's Heidi. I am from the Pittsburgh area of Pennsylvania, and I've known Tiffany. It'll be hard to believe it's going to be 24 years in just a couple weeks.
Wow.
I was 2, right? Like
You were 2 and I was 12, so that's perfect.
There we go. And it is my pleasure to have you all on our call this evening. And as you all know, Wine Decadence has literally exploded in the last couple weeks. And I am excited. My team's excited. I don't know about all of you, but the chatter, messages, emails, text messages, phone calls about what is Wine Decadence and what is in it for them and for us. And I just think it's going to be a really great future for all of us. And I am so pleased to have Tiffany join us on the call tonight. So I'm actually going to hand this over to Tiffany right now. And it looks like we had somebody else just join us. So it's great.
Well, I'll get started. The reason we're having this call is because Heidi and I were chatting, and Heidi is actually new to Wine Decadence as well. I've been working with Wine Decadence now for about 9 or 10 months, and the expansion that we are having right now has been very well thought out and very well planned. I was speaking to Chris earlier today from California, and I chatted with her about the fact that for the first few months of Wine Decadence, we needed to get all of the training material and all of the motivational material, all of that stuff put into place before we started to expand. Now, I know that some of you have been with Country Gourmet Home, and that I actually started with Amy Beth about 11 months ago. And it has been an exciting journey in terms of working with Amy Beth and trying to get the product line down pat and new catalogs and all of the things that we need to do to have a successful direct sales / party plan company. Before I go into Wine Decadence, I want to talk to you a little bit about the business model that we have in Wine Decadence. You know, people talk about direct sales, and there's lots of companies that are MLM companies, multi-level marketing. And that means that the objective is to bring bodies in. Oftentimes, the product is secondary to the opportunity. You talk about the opportunity, come aboard, bring 10 people in, then they will bring 10 people in, and they will bring 10 people in, and they will bring 10 people in, and suddenly you're going to be earning $1 million a year. That is a typical MLM company. Wine Decadence is a party plan company that has the advantages of multi-level marketing because there is a commission structure. And the commission structure currently is 2 levels. Now, before we start getting into where we're going with Wine Decadence, I want to share with you that despite the fact that the company is 2 years old, we really relaunched last January. I think many of you that have been with Country Gourmet Homes know that we had to relaunch a lot of things and restructure a lot of things. You know, in general and in life, you have to have a strong foundation. If you don't have a strong foundation, the house is going to collapse. So we set forth to create a strong foundation in Wine Decadence. We are a direct sales company. We have the advantage of being able to do in-home tastings. And of course, now we can do wine tastings and wine and food tastings. We also have the advantage of we can sell online, we can do events, we can do corporate events, etc. But the basis of this business is doing in-home tastings. As some of you know, we're launching a leadership group. And someone asked me, what do you need to do to be in leadership? And my answer was very simple. You have to want to do tastings and want to build a team. And you want to be able to invest the time it's going to take to to grow a very successful business. I have been very blessed in my life that my husband, our son, and myself built a very successful company. And through the grace of God, if I chose to do nothing in my life, I could certainly do that and not alter my lifestyle. However, I love this industry, but I am really very picky on the types of companies I want to be associated with. I know there are companies out there that perhaps could utilize our services, and I'm sure they're great companies. But Jamie, who's our son, and myself want to align ourselves with companies that we truly believe in, that can grow. And we want to be able to quickly impact those companies. Wine Decadence has all the right components right now. Now, you hear what I said, it has the right components. Not every single program is in place, and the back office, needs some work. And I was trying to find something, and I couldn't find it today. And I know how frustrating that is to all of us when I'm trying to get this one little bit of information, and I still don't know where it is. I asked Anna, and she told me, and I couldn't find it. And little by little, we are working on all the little things that can make our lives as consultants a whole lot easier. Those are all fixable little challenges. The important part of Wine Decadence is the product, the programs, the promotions, the leadership, and both corporate leadership and field leadership. And that's what really has me so excited. The product, as you know, we have access to some 62 different vineyards. So as in the next few months, you're going to see that our line is changing. You're going to see that we're going to have more variety in certain price ranges particularly, so that we can multi-sell and upsell. There is a difference, and we're going to be offering lots of trainings, by the way. Not so much that you're going to be overwhelmed, but if you want to build a business, we're going to offer them. When you're talking about, and this product line is a little different than what we've been accustomed to, because obviously it's easy to say if you're going to buy a sugar scrub, then you want to buy a lotion to go with it. Where now you're talking wines. So you really have to either upsell or multi-sell. And let me briefly explain the difference. When you're multi-selling, you are taking wines that the client likes or new wines that they want to explore. And you're suggesting wines within the same approximate price range, so that the client never feels like, oh my God, she's just trying to sell me a higher wine. A perfect example of that would be any of our Cabernets. If they're buying a Cabernet, I always like to recommend, gee, how about trying one of our Chiantis? They're under $20, and they pair really well with pizza or Italian food or antipasto. If someone likes the Chianti and they're looking at the $19 bottle, a multi-sell is very simple. This is an amazing wine for under $20. You really should get a couple of bottles of that. And let me also recommend a couple of bottles are our Chianti Orange, which is actually $2 cheap. So now what I'm doing again, I'm keeping it in about the same price range. And the customer is not feeling like I'm trying to oversell them. Now, an upsell is different. An upsell is if someone's looking at a $22 bottle of wine, I might very well say, well, you know that wine is great. We also have another Cabernet, and I keep focusing on Cabernet because I'm a Cabernet drinker. We have another Cabernet which is a little more robust. It is like $6 more, but it's still under that $30 price range, or it could be the $20, whichever it is. So now I'm actually upselling. And then if you come across what I lovingly refer to as the wine snobs, which you will, that will say to you, well, I only drink really fabulous wines. Well, that's just, that's the frosting on the cake, because now I can introduce them to the wines that are in the $30 price range, or perhaps even the $40 price range. And you will come across your wine snobs. Now, I say wine snobs very lovingly, because Walter Walter's my husband, have friends that are wine snobs. At Easter, Walter and I served the Altus, which is currently at, I believe, $75 a bottle. And in fact, it's going to be going up. It's now retailing in most areas for around $100. I served it, and literally one of my friends bought 2 cases of it. I gave them a 10% discount at $70 or $75 a bottle. They know their wines, they like their wines. So I lovingly refer to that group as the wine snobs. I also, when I'm talking about my wines, I want to say to someone, and if you want a fabulous, over-the-top Cabernet for that special occasion where perhaps you're celebrating an anniversary, where perhaps you're having Chateaubriand or this amazing steak, I will share with you that our Altus wine for $70 is better than your Opus, your Joseph Phelps, and those are in the $125, $150, but it's certainly a special occasion wine. So like for those of you, and I think almost everyone on this call, I don't know about Renee, has been in party plan or direct sales, the first thing is you have to know your client. You have to really know your client, know your host, it's so interesting calling them hosts. We always call them hostesses, but now in wine, it can be a gentleman. You have to know your host. You have to observe your clients. If someone is driving up in a Jaguar and she's wearing all kinds of, 14-karat diamonds all over herself, I might introduce that 30, 40 and that specialty wine. By the same token, I have a goal, and the goal is to either multi-sell or upsell or a combination thereof. When it comes to our wines, you're going to be seeing more wines introduced in the next few months. We know the magic price points, so most of our wines are going to be under that $25, $28 price range, from $28 all the way into the teens, so that we are appealing to a broad market. We as a company, despite the fact that we have amazing wines, we don't want to necessarily be thought of as the elitist company where we only show our wines to those that know a lot about wines. In fact, if you're sitting there saying, I don't know that much about wines, or I don't even drink wine, that's okay. Because part of the fun of a wine tasting is exploring those wines together, or having, and if you don't drink, having your clients explore. Every one of our wines has a sheet. And we've got, by the way, if you've been to the back office, and you all know how to get there, you go to the back office, you log in, you go to the back office, it says consultant resources. You click onto that, and then it has a whole menu of training vehicles. And it has something about the product, and all the wines, or most of the wines, have a single sheet of paper that will tell you everything you want to know about that product. Within that, it oftentimes will tell you what the client should be tasting. So at your wine tastings, when you say, so what does everybody taste right now? If no one's saying, I taste blueberries or I taste cherries, with your cheat sheet in front of you, you can say, well, can anyone taste the grapefruit in this? And you'll be very surprised, because oftentimes when you say that, someone will say, oh yes, now I can taste it. And you can also do some fun little games and say, okay, now let's, everyone, if I'm going to give out points today. When we taste a wine, shout out what you're tasting, and if it's on the list, you're going to get a point. And the person that gets the most points is going to get a little Prezi from me. So you can do all kinds. I'm going to stop for a moment and just ask if there are any questions so far. Any questions? Okay. Please feel free, and Heidi, you can look and see in the chat room if in fact there's any questions, you can let me know. How's that?
Absolutely. It says no questions yet.
All righty, Heidi. So when you go through the back office and you look at the presentation, you're going to find, those of you that have been with Undercover in the past, you're going to see some familiar things. Things like setting your goals, starting off with your goals. The format is very similar to what we have always done and what we actually, for your edification, that we as a company created. Lots of times I'll hear some things out in the industry and I'll say, oh my God, I created that a zillion years ago. So you'll have your goals, you'll have your booking seeds, and so on. In terms of, we've been asked about the host program and is there an ongoing host program? What we've been doing is we've been changing it periodically, and we've been giving out gift cards. The last couple of months, it's gift cards with certain breakdown. The reason we're doing that is because there was no host program set up. So we want to start giving the host something. And then we can simply say, if someone says, well, gee, am I getting anything? Yes, you will be getting a thank you card, a gift card from the company once this order is submitted. Because we have to remember, they are not buying from us. They are buying from the company. We cannot actually sell wine. We can show it, but everything has to go through the company. That's in any in-home wine tasting company. Some of you already know there are some other companies out there. So you might ask, why are we better? Number one, our wines are rated. We're not getting, and I'm sure all the other companies have great wines as well, but ours are rated. We are getting them directly from the best vineyards in the world. Number two, we have an array of products. I happened to be online looking at another company, which will go unnamed, and I found that they had a total of, I think, 11 bottles of red wine in total. We have twice that many, and we'll be having even more. In terms of now that we've got the food pairings, which, as you know, happen very quickly, that's going to separate us even more. We're going to be the only wine company that has food and the only food company that has wine. In addition, in terms of knowing the wines, our management team, our corporate management team, have been in the wine industry. Then you add the component of the direct sales, people being Jamie and myself, and as you all know, I've been in this industry since there were dinosaurs on the earth. So when you add all of that, and now what's exciting is our field management. Those of you that want to be leaders in this company, many of whom have had direct sales experience. As I keep mentioning, I spoke to Chris for the first time, and it was great because she was a leader in Tupperware. So a lot of the basics that I'm covering today with a brand new consultant wouldn't know squat about this. If you've been in the industry, you have at least the basics down pat. The other big thing is that Wine Decadence is growth oriented. I can share with you that this is not about Wine Decadence making a profit right now. This is all about growth. After meeting with Rick, and last week it was Rick, Anna, Jamie, and myself, he is eager to invest in this company, in each and every one of you, so that together we can grow Wine Decadence throughout the United States. So between our wines and our fill-in programs, which are very generous, our specials, and in fact, I have to share with you, after looking at all the specials, we probably should cut back a little because there's lots out there right now. And I'm like, okay, I didn't realize we had launched that as well. You always want to invest in your buy it to try it. Right now, it's the Firestone Cab, the Guanac Chardonnay, and the Fudge Cake. And those are fun. And those are they're $29.95 for all three of these. If you haven't ordered it, I suggest you order it. It's under tasting sets, Anna said, and you have to put in the code BITI, buy it to try it, to get the discount. What happens at a tasting call, they're very fun and informative. I think that's on the 24th. We all get our wine together and we'll be tasting it with the chocolate fudge cake, which is absolutely amazing. It's like a lava cake. And we taste it with the wine, and then we taste the wine separately, then taste it with a little bit of the chocolate and see what how the flavors are enhanced. Always take advantage of the buy to try it because they are incredibly well priced. They are not commissionable because they're so well priced. Buy it to try it is just for the consultants. We then have our ongoing customer specials where you will see things like the Think Pink, the 2 Coletto Rosés. And those are marked down and fully commissionable. So you've got the buy it to try it, you've got the specials, and then you've got the tasting sets, which are designed for all of us to go out and do tastings. And then we have the themed sets. The Fall Harvest Collection is one. So let me recap again for you. You've got your kits. Currently, there are 3 kits. When I say currently, we obviously have to put in the food products when we get them in. We're not sure. We know we have to have the food products separately because there are several of the CGH consultants who don't want to sell wine. And there may be wine consultants that don't want to sell food. We're not sure exactly how we're doing that yet. Number 2, so those are non-commissionable. The kits are non-commissionable. Then we have the tasting sets. The tasting sets, at least 1 or 2 of them, are usually part of the 2 higher kits. Tasting sets are not commissionable because they're marked down in price. But also there's a program going on that every time you do a 350 or more tasting, you get a replacement tasting set. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Everybody get those 2 so far? The buy it to try it's are available. If you're going to order them, they're available right now. You should order them sooner rather than later because they change. We're supposed to be doing 2 a month. I think we're doing 1 right now. They change monthly, but the fun part is to get them and do the tasting with us. And that tasting is in 2 weeks or a week and a half. I checked with Anna. If we get them in right away, you would have it in time, other than perhaps Hawaii. So kits, non-commissionable, currently 3 of them. Tasting sets, non-commissionable, and we're actually introducing, I think, 5 different tasting sets. We're expanding it. Why? Because we realize now that we have gals in that really want to do ongoing tastings, when you get a booking, you may not want to bring the exact same tasting. So we want to offer more variety. And by the way, you can also simply get other wines and bring those as a tasting if you prefer. So those are non-commissionable. Then we have our themed collections and our specials. There are always 2 themed collections going on simultaneously. They last 2 months, so they overlap. So we just introduced our September and October one. We'll be introducing next our October-November one is introduced as well for the Thanksgiving. And then next month we'll be introducing another one, and the September one will be gone. So there's always 2. Those are 4 bottles of wine, which have been reduced as a collection, reduced in price. And then we can offer those, they are fully commissionable, so we can offer those to our clients and our customers. And also, if we're buying them for ourselves, we get our regular 25% discount on it. Everybody understand that?
Tiffany, Joni had a comment that would be nice maybe to have a kit that had both the wine and the food now.
We are thinking of that, Joni, and it would probably be like the higher kit that would encompass all of it. So that is one of the things Jamie, Anna, and I are meeting on of, okay, what should we do for these kits temporarily? The stopgap right now is let's get through the next 10 weeks up through 2017. And when I say let's get through, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean this like, whew, this thing is exploding all over the place. If I ever turned the computer and you saw my desk on the left-hand side, you would be ashamed of me. It is literally piled up, and I'm not going to show you. I refuse to. You will lose all faith in me. It is piled up with stuff. I don't even know where to begin. But we want to keep the momentum going. We want to keep recruiting, but we are very focused in on 2017. And I've got to wrap this up because you have another call at 3 o'clock. I just forgot about that. So
one more question, yeah. Tiffany. With the introduction of the Country Gourmet Home, is there going to be a sampler of foods, like the packages available for those of us who are already consultants to purchase?
Yes. What we're gonna do is, I'm assuming, and don't hold me to every one of these because as I shared with you, honest to God, this happened so quickly. How we were able to get this even where it is right now is beyond me. What I'm assuming we'll do is we'll do kits of some sort, non-commissionable. And if you're an existing consultant and you want to get a kit, whether you've been with CGH or not, we're going to make the kits available. And they are the top 25 best-selling items. Now, clearly, as Chris and Joni know, CGH carried 600 products. You heard me, 600 products. We are not going to bring in 600 products. It's just not going to happen. We want to have it as a manageable number so that, thank you, Joni, so that we're selling the good stuff. The whole concept of Country Gourmet Home, we created something called Enjoy the Easy because most of the recipes have no more than 2 extra ingredients. A lot have just 1. Like this hot fudge pudding cake, you literally take milk, put it in, stir it, grease a pan, put the pan on a cookie sheet, and I'll tell you why in a minute, then put boiling water on it, do not stir it, and then put it in the oven. The only reason you put it on a cookie sheet is once you put the boiling water on it, and you're trying to move the darn pan, you could scald yourself. I learned that the correct way. So if you put it in a cookie sheet, put it in, then what happens, it comes out, it looks like it's brownies. But when you put the spoon in, all this rich, yummy chocolate comes out. But again, literally, cup of milk and boiling water. So it is all about enjoying the easy, which is perfect for our tastings. The breads, you put, I think it's water, a can of Coke or soda or beer in it, mix it, let it sit, it rises on its own, and you put in the oven. So the foods will really enhance what we have. So let me get back to our programs. We have the collections, and then we have the specials. And the specials, again, when you see things like regular price, your price, like the Coletto, this is, and I think it's under social media postings. We're going to start changing that because this is actually still a customer special. It's commissionable. Okay? So that means we can offer the 2 bottles. The regular price is $48 for the 2 bottles of Rosetto, which is a sweeter wine. Get that, Heidi? Sweeter. And they get 2 bottles for $39.95, fully commissionable. And for you, if you're going to do tastings with the sweeter wines, you can certainly, and it's not wrong, you can order several of these for yourself and take your discount, and those could be part of your tasting sets. And then the theme collection, same thing, 4 wines. This one is $45, a higher ticket item, 45% off original price. The original price is $142.50. The collection is $109.95 to the customer, and that's commissionable. I can't hear you, Heidi.
I muted myself. I'm sorry. Celine wanted to know if the food items were commissionable.
The food, yes, yes. Right now, they'll be at 25% commission. They'll probably fall into the same commission structure as we currently have. It'll certainly fall into the same comp plan, same commission structure. You know, maybe there'll be a bonus here or there. I'm not sure. We don't know the margins, quite frankly. I know what Amy Beth's margins were, but now we're taking them in. We had to find a kitchen. We have to find somebody to make them. We have to get them packaged. So we don't know what the margins are. Okay, I know we have 13 minutes left. One of the things we are going to be doing is creating a leadership group. Already, I talked to Chris about it, and she wants to be part of it. And then I automatically knew Joni was going to be part of it because I spoke to her this morning. I know that Heidi will be part of it, undoubtedly. And someone asked, what is the leadership group? And as I mentioned, it's someone that wants to do tastings because, everybody ready? That this is the mean Tiffany. You cannot teach what you do not know. You cannot teach what you do not do. You know, I love it. Oh, I'm going to be naughty. I love it when I get up and I hear people, motivational speakers, and they, company owners, et cetera, and they get up there and they'll talk about, yes, and I did it this way and I did it that way. And I say, well, when's the last time you did a party? Oh, I don't do parties anymore. You know what? The surest way to lose respect of your team is not to achieve. And by the way, your team members know if there's a trip promotion or there's a promotion for a free bottle of wine or whatever, and the company announces all the winners and your name isn't there, where do you think your credibility goes? Out the window. You cannot teach what you do not know. You cannot teach what you do not do. So that is my number one requirement in any of my leadership programs. You can't be a prima donna. You got to get out there and do it. And you got to do it as good as anyone else. Now, we always love it when a team member is better than we. That's good. But I have always said in undercover wear, and I promise I'm not going to bring it up a lot because someone got mad at me one time because I brought undercover wear too much. That's my whole background, everybody. I always said, on any given month, I would challenge the best in the company. I would go out there and I would beat them. And you all might say to me, oh, that's a little cocky. No, I have to be that confident. Now, I've often said I probably couldn't do it month in and month out. But as a leader, you want your team to respect your capabilities. And you want your team to look up to you as an achiever. And you want to create that relationship with your consultants, with your hostesses, with your guests, and with the company. We are one, we talk about being a team. Together, we are a team. There is no I in team. We are a family. And I can assure you that I've been asked repeatedly, what's Jamie's role and my role? We intend to have a very long-term relationship with Wine Decadence. Very long-term relationship. In fact, those of you that are from CGH, you'll laugh hysterically. We may not be able to post this one, Heidi. As I'm talking to all these new consultants on the Facebook page, and I think I told Heidi this one, that one person actually said yesterday morning as I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, where I looked on the post and said that I was actually, they wondered if I was actually trying to steal Amy Beth's company, and she really didn't know anything about this. And I, of course, being a little snarky at 6 o'clock in the morning, I said, yes, you got me. I'm trying to steal her company. I've got her locked up in the basement. And I'm going to now steal the United States. I'm going to take over the world. Of course, I joked. But I got off after doing this, and I said, when I started doing this consulting gig, Jamie and I, and there's a whole background of this, so I won't go into detail. It was like, great. We can advise companies. We can help them grow. And you know what? The good news is we don't have to really be emotionally involved. It's not our company. Don't have to talk to agents I don't want to talk to. Don't have to play. And I'm talking, I said, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning writing notes today about the consultants. I have realized, like every one of you on this call, if you love it, you become passionate about it. So my particular role, I love this company, and I love CGH. I love their products. And if it wasn't Amy Beth is ill, I really had great hopes for that. And I feel confident now meshing the two, we've got the best of both worlds. And now I'm going to let you all ask me. We've got 8 minutes, and you notice I'm in as Tiffany James. You were right, Heidi. I logged out and then I logged back in under me. Any questions?
Feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question. You did very well. There's no questions.
Oh, I have one. This is Joni.
Hi, Joni.
Hi, Joni. Joni always has a question. Good girl.
I definitely want to see some vendor bundles like we had in the CGH, the dips and dessert dips. And maybe we can get creative with it and add a bottle of wine or two.
Okay, if you would do us a favor and kind of describe those and send those off to Anna and CC me.
Okay.
Give us more description on, I know what they are, but I need her to know as well.
Okay, because those were, I love those vendor bundles. They're just a deeper discount, and it's a way to get to try all the different products.
Right. And again, I will share with you right now that if we're doing that, that would be in 2017. Because there's no shot we can get them done before then. We are going to be scrambling to get, and actually, you can't tell anyone yet. Initially we were going to do 25 products. And then when I got the list from Amy Beth, like 3 of them were the dips. And I said to Amy Beth, I need more dips. I can't have 3 dips because we want to do that 3 for whatever price. I said, but you can't just have 3 dips. So we're getting 10 dips. So we're up to like 34 products immediately. And let me share with you, Joni, and everyone else. We want to, Wine Decadence, Jamie, myself, Anna, we want to under-promise and over-perform. I'd rather say to you, Joni, those bundles aren't coming, those bundles are not coming in until January, and then miraculously they show up in November, December, great. But we never want to promise something's going to happen until we are confident it's going to. We'll know more next week too, because everything's on hold for the next 2 days because of the hurricane. Okay, any other questions?
I don't exactly have a question, or maybe I do. I had my first launch party last evening, and some of the suggestions, one of them, I should have 3 parties, tastings booked out of that. One for sure, I just have to get dates for the other 2, but their suggestions were they would rather see like a free bottle of wine instead of a gift certificate or a discount. So, and they all agreed on that. So I'm not sure if that's something that could happen in the future.
Oh, that's actually easier for us than a gift card. So, and what you're going to see in the future is we're going to get more creative too. We'll probably have some sort of a standard base host program, and then we'll have specials.
Okay.
But again, I want to be very clear on what I'm saying. But we are, despite the fact that you'll go in that back office, and if you're not impressed with the training there, then I don't know who, I mean, that training is amazing. Amazing. Everything from new age consultant training to, you know, your hostesses, all that stuff. You still have to understand, we are an emerging company. Up until 2 months ago, if we had 4 people, 5 people on a call, that was it. Well, we can accelerate things now because we see the growth happening.
Well, that's why I'm intrigued by the company, because it is fresh and new, and I feel like I'm growing with it in the beginning stages, and I think that's really awesome. And I had one interested last night in possibly becoming a consultant too, for that very reason. She's intrigued by that as well. So yeah, I think it's great. I think the training's great. This is my first time in direct sales, but I love wine, and I think it's great. I think this whole video meeting was very helpful.
This is Renee, correct?
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
No, that's okay, because I Facebook stalked you immediately when I got the input. So don't you worry. Oh, yes. You're adorable. And you must work out like twice a day. So I hate you. That's okay. It's okay.
Thank you.
And one thing, Renee,
I told you I hated you. No, I just.
one thing is we will have more of these calls. For those of you that know me, has been on a team of mine before, I like to do a lot of video trainings. So I will start marketing products and have many videos. So you'll be able to see like a particular wine, and then I will be marketing that particular wine. So you can actually click on the different videos. So I'm going to be working on that training for my team and anybody else who wants to watch as well.
Wonderful.
Okay, well, thank you all so much. And I am always delighted and honored to be on Heidi's calls or any calls of a team leader. And if you are on this call and you have said you want to be a team leader, and you do, all you've got to do is let me know. We schedule a little mini one-on-one so we can make sure we're on the same page. And then we will start doing leadership calls in the probably November.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much for being on the call. Now you can get on the next call if you'd like. Nice seeing you.
Thank you,
Happy
Tiffany.
birthday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.